I wanted to make a video really on the fact that there is no right way to heal, and there's no right way to attain recovery and to maintain recovery. You know, different things work for different people. For me, you know, I never sort of felt connected to AA or NA, SMART or ACT. You know, I joined many groups online, and I found that a lot of people in those groups were still sort of craving alcohol and still very much struggling with recovery. And I felt quite odd, actually. It made me feel like I was odd. I thought there was something wrong with me because I wasn't craving alcohol. I wasn't struggling, you know. And so I had to come out of those groups, you know, and just because I felt so, it made me feel so odd. You know, I thought, is there something wrong with me? Am I not doing this correctly? You know, but I was still sober. So, you know, so for me personally, my recovery tool was academia and just self-development. You know, 8 weeks after leaving rehab, I went to university to complete my bachelor's degree, which I'd started like 17 years prior. And then I went on to do my master's, and it was, aside from just being a tool where I was, you know, academically advancing and gaining qualifications, and it was almost like I was validating myself through my own achievements. It was a great recovery tool because I was very open about my background, my history of addiction and trauma. And to my surprise, they were very receptive to it. You know, it wasn't like, you know, they were very receptive to what I was saying. And I don't know whether that's because it was an academic setting where learning is, I guess, the foundation. But for me, it really was my recovery tool. And I do a lot of work on myself, just because I have to in recovery. That is, I guess, the unwritten sort of, I don't want to put it as a rule, but in recovery you have to keep working on yourself, and you have to sort of, the goal is to be a better Annie today than I was yesterday, you know. And so that's what I do. I practice it on a daily, and I do a lot of self-reflection. But and that's quite unusual, you know. It's quite an unusual recovery tool in comparison to some people, but it works. You know, it worked for me, and now I'm no longer in an academic sort of environment. Well, I say that, I have put a PhD proposal in, so we never know. But, you know, in this time when I've kind of left the sort of university and that sort of environment and gone into work, I've built up such a great foundation that the fact that I'm not in education anymore still hasn't meant that I have let go of my recovery. You know, I've found other tools of self-development and really focused on my self-development because now I've got more time, and that's kind of, you know, been my recovery tool. So I just wanted to say that there is no right way to get into recovery, that, you know, sort of transition, and there is no right way to maintain your recovery. As long as what you're doing is working for you, you're remaining sober for yourself, and you're building the life that you want. You know, coming into recovery isn't just about not drinking, although I do understand that for some people just not using is enough, and that's fine as well. This isn't a criticism, but for me personally, in recovery, I didn't want to just not use but then have nothing else. You know, I wanted to build the life that I felt I deserved. I wanted to achieve. I wanted to have goals, and I wanted to keep elevating, and that's what I am doing, you know. So yeah, there is no right way. Just do it your way, as long as it's working for you. That's all that matters.